Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel English Literature. Today we are going to talk about John Winthrop 1588 to 1649. Now, Captain John Smith settled in America 1607 and after that Plymouth Plantation. Captain John Smith, Jamestown, Virginia, recap and then William Bradford, Plymouth Plantation and after that John Winthrop, Massachusetts Bay Colony. Now, John Winthrop was born in Groton, England, as the son of Adam Winthrop and Annie Brown. His father was a tradesman. He was raised under his father's prosperous and influential umbrella, not like Bradford. He went to Cambridge University for 2 years. Puritan beliefs and ideologies were imprinted within him from that time. So there is difference between Bradford's life and Winthrop's life. Winthrop, unlike you must go through the Bradford's life so you can understand the difference. Obviously, Winthrop, like Bradford, believes in the reform of the Church of England from within rather than breaking with it. So everyone is talking about reform, but there is difference in their attitude or their belief that you don't have to break with the church, but reform it from within. Now, 1620, economic depression in America. Winthrop felt the need of economic depression in England, and Winthrop felt that the need for economic backup at his father's farm was not enough for sustenance. Till then, what happened? Winthrop led a very cozy life, comfortable life under the shade of his father's economic stability. But with the economic depression, Winthrop realized that his father's farm cannot be sufficient for their sustenance. He had to do something. Now, ascension of Charles I brought a new threat to Winthrop's life. Charles was staunchly Catholic and antagonistic to the Puritans. The only way of rescue was to get the king's permission to settle in another country to free. In 1629 March, Winthrop, along with the other Puritans, a group of 700, got the Charter of America from the Council for New England. So, with the charter, they arrived in New England and set up the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Winthrop was elected as the governor of the colony in October 1629. He holds that post for 12 years. To him, England had become a sinful land, weary of its inhabitants. So Winthrop and 700 Puritans, they set out by Arabella. And what is Arabella? Arabella is the name of the ship. And Bradford's ship, do you remember? Mayflower, I think. Mayflower is Bradford's ship. And John Smith's ship, there are 3 names. I cannot remember now. Anyway, Arabella is the Winthrop ship for the New World in 1630. His most significant work is a model of Christian charity. 1630, it was published in 1838. So long gap. This is his collection of sermons written in the structure of a series of questions and answers. And it is believed that he delivered the sermon during his journey or before his journey. There is some controversy regarding this. That when did he deliver that sermon? Before the journey or in the boat or after just anchoring in the new land? Whatever it is his sermon. And a model of Christian charity is his collection of sermons. It is written in the structure of a series of questions and answers. And it is a roadmap or pre-planning for the Puritan settlement in a new country. So there are so many things you have to consider when you are going to settle in a new country. Otherwise, that will be fatal. And even in time of John Smith, we find that how they had to suffer. Raunonke settlement, do you remember? The total community just vanished mysteriously. But there was no mystery. They had to suffer, they had to die. Maybe they are dead. So they must take precaution. They must not be in haste to go somewhere and take it as a virgin land and there is everything less like a Garden of Eden and go and settle there. There is disease, there is new circumstance, there is weather, everything you have to consider. And that planning, that pre-planning was, and Puritan settlement in a new country was the theme of a model of Christian charity. Now, there is a controversy regarding the delivery time. I told you already this point. They're either before they boarded for the voyage or during the voyage. The manuscript is incomplete and there is little evidence of its exact composition time. Yet it is an iconic text that chronicles the religious ideologies and struggles for religious power coming over the new land. What happened? In England, what was the situation? Charles I was in the throne and persecutions was going on for the Puritans. And Puritans were not at all safe in the kingdom of Charles, but they were safe in the reign of Queen Elizabeth. But with the death of Queen Elizabeth and the accession of Charles I in the throne, what happened? The scenario totally changed. Now the Puritans are in danger. They are in the fear. They have to live in fear. Anytime they are punished, they are thrown into the jail. They are just killed, and their severe, cruel punishment are bestowed upon them on no charge or minimum charge. So, with the ascension of Charles I, the situation changed, and for England, Puritans in England, they cannot survive there. England become a very dangerous spot for them. So, they want to escape from England. And with their ideologies, their belief, they started to build a new reign, Puritanism, in new land, and that new land is America. And this journal captures all the incidents and information regarding the political, social and religious life of the early colonial period. So in that respect it is also important. First of all, its importance is that it is the planning, the mind map of the Puritan fathers, that what they are planning to do in the new land after escaping the punishment of the king and church from England. So that mind map, that planning is the first point. And again they have, as a historical documents, they have some value. A city upon a hill, this is another point, a recurrent version of this journal. The phrase is taken from John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. This concept is recurrently, a city upon a hill, is used in Winthrop's book, Winthrop's sermon. The first printed edition, a model, appeared in the collection of the Massachusetts Historical Society in 1838. Another important work is the Journal of John Winthrop. It records the early history of settlement, rules and regulations of the new colony, and all the details of early encampment and arrangement, from the smallpox epidemic to dissenters. So in this journal, all other details, all other things are described. Smallpox epidemic, the dissenters, and when we will go through the dissenters video, the three dissenters, there was Morton, Roger Williams and Annie Hutchinson. There we will find the name of Winthrop. And Winthrop mentions all those dissenters and their life and what their blame, their punishment in this journal. Concerning liberty is Winthrop's finest prose work, where he defines liberty as power. Okay, so among these work, the most important is obviously a model. Though it was published after so many time, but it was the most significant work of Winthrop. It was the first planning of Puritan settlement in America, and it was the earliest documents of colonial America, the first settlement, their life, their class, their conflict with the aboriginal people, and whatever they had to face while settling in that country. And it became a great source for the later pamphleteers, and also obviously for the later settlers. They will go through Winthrop's documentation and Winthrop's experience, and they can take necessary equipments for their next settlement. So in that respect also, that book, was important. Okay, so with Winthrop, today we finish our chit chat.